retake coming through. Everyone just walks through the smokes. Easy shots for Hirodon to land. So moving forward, this next round is the one that we've got to watch. Because Coach Autumn called the timeout for a reset. But look at Deb's right here.
Well, you know, sometimes when you're up in the air, you can't get grounded.
들어가나요?
And boy, did he. Sugar Zero is going to use the paranoia. They're committing to get this quick take on the B site because they aren't afraid of how much retake power T1 has. So the more that they can play for this post plant, the better it should be for Zeta Division here. But again, as I mentioned, Zaya player, he's got the Bumbaya. Nightfall going to be used for a bit of that coverage. And oh my god, this is just going to be them, Zeta Division, praying to dear God that nobody from T1 can spot them out.
위치까지 다 찍어주면서
And they just get torn apart as that retake from T1 is absolutely flawless.
Very clean. Just give them the site, play the retake. Nightfall was
그러니까.
a good idea, and you can see Zeta
안
trying
그래도
to
자금 없어가지고 살짝 에바스기류였는데 이거
most of the T1 players will be approaching
이걸 다 아끼고 이렇게 가면 너무 좋지.
They weren't quite able to respond to that showstopper, and that was the main thing that broke them apart.
근데 그만큼 궁을 투자했다는 점. 사이퍼 궁이 레이즈 궁이었거든요.
B execute several times now. Set up for the retake instead. It's gonna work a treat.
Yeah, and that was kind of annoying too for Depp. If you imagine that, Euron actually had an aftershock to assist him on market, but because Saya player was just boosted on market, everything that he kind of did was null and void. So unless he was just such a good shot, it would have been something, right? Depp unleashed himself that showstopper of his, but yeah, Izu was able to get away with a fairly time just run out actually, or maybe that was Carpe. Anyways, A side not secured at all by Zeta here. Saya player into the corner and he explodes. You're not sure he got himself that trade off, but Excurate doubling up, and it's trade for trade, man. They are dwindling in the numbers. Thankfully enough, that Neural thing is gonna give that information. The double swing out on mid! Laz! Double kill! And an opportunity, a chance, a hope, a dream. He's down to 30. Did he hear the noise from Rossi? Because that's going to be important. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Laz, he's got a chance, but he's 30 HP.
Yeah, at the very least, maybe he gets a spike plant, but then you got Rossi who's able to kind of sneak back up around. And Laz always has to wonder where he's going to show up from. For all you know, Rossi might actually pull off such a crazy flank to push through tiles or something. Of course, it's going to be Link that's the easier option. Or Ali. Either way, Laz has a lot to consider. Wow, Spike might actually give up a little bit.
Spotted him.
10 seconds. Now he's got information and just has to land the shot.
He has a snake bite too. Rossi can play this perfectly. Rossi, he gets tagged. He knows exactly where he is. What a risky proposition from both sides. But Rossi, even though he was exposed, he had everything working for him. He's cornered his opponent, he has the HP advantage, and he's Rossi. All those three things working in his favor.
Yeah, trying to go back and forth, but then just Rossi having to land that one shot. I mean, a lot more calm, a lot more effective, but also as you think about how this round plays out, just going in for that tiles play, I don't know if it's a bit of exhaustion, but not really checking the corner and anticipating some of these other plays. Saya player was able to punish. Laz, though, able to fight back with those 2 frags to trade back. But of course, at the end, it's just not enough in terms of numbers.
Yeah.
Right here. Operator on Saya player.
So it's take 2, right? Both teams using a good chunk of smoke as well as info utility here on A main. Immediately, Zeta Division backs away up onto mid, realizing that last round, we got pushed here on tile, so we re-clear this. But as they do, they actually double up onto A main. They're kind of hoping that maybe with the use of this Prowler, they expose some bit of position. Carpe's still holding an angle here. He could get some massive damage, which he will not be able to do so. Only 1-for-1 in terms of the trades. There's so many players of T1 challenging. Izu's lighting it up.
Oh, Laz.
Laz, if he can find this, a neural theft will come quickly right soon after. Saya players just holding an operator here. Through tiles.
아,
These
또
are just
혼자만
massive
깨진
reads
걸
over and
라즈.
over again from T1.
이것도 상당히
Zeta Division is
힘들거든요.
into the trap of their
에이베이
of their
푸시도
opponents.
모르고 다시 미드 간
Not
것도
over yet though.
모르고
Last
뭐
still very much
사이트에
so in the
있는지도
game.
모르고
First of all,
어디
has to
가는지
make his way onto his
모르고.
site, but as he moves across,
Oh,
hops
jumped
over the tripwire. I believe.
근데 본
Execute
거
might
같은데요
have heard him.
이거? 그쵸 여러분들?
Yeah,
아닌가?
there's a lot of pings.
그래. 케빈이 본 거 같습니다.
Boba is the only position
아이고,
that was
따라가죠.
not given up.
10 seconds left.
Where does he
아,
plan
씨발, 또
to
카메라.
Does he even check
시간이
the
없어요,
camera?
시간이.
He will not
No
because
time.
there's no time
나이스.
left. Accurate, pretty much right on his tail. T1, some decisive, controlling, defensive posture. I've used all of my words.
I think this is one of these rounds where like T1, you know, they're controlling the map really well, and Zeta might have to call in a timeout just to figure out a different option right now. You look at how they're really approaching this part of the map, especially up towards a lobby. It's just a clear crossfire site. And as soon as they pick up one, you know, you got T1 coming back in for those trades. And like you mentioned, it's just a bait setup because as soon as they get enough kills, they taper back. Zeta wants to rotate. And Saya players already in position to catch them as they try to, you know, fall back, fall away from A. Not to mention Accurate as well, it's just lurking right around the corner. So it's a very good setup from T1, and Zeta has to find a way to adjust around this.
Question is, can they though? Zeta's, as you mentioned, already calling this timeout.
뭔가 뎁시 표정이 약간 멘탈이
Big
살짝
trouble
안
here if
좋으신
they
것
can't
같은데?
deal with that operator.
그쵸,
It
여러분들.
worked the first time, their
뭔가
counterplay, because
약간 이런
they were able
느낌이야.
to set the, I think, the rules of engagement, right? But when T1 is on even footing, it feels like they're always on that advantage. And it's such a difficult thing to fight against when you're Zeta Division. And now we're seeing the fruits of that. Zeta Division, though,
1라운드 때
they don't have any counter traps whatsoever.
여태까지
They're
잘
just going to
먹혔던
be
엘보
forcing this A
먹기?
side once again.
Oh, I feel like the hunt didn't quite land correctly either.
Bomb buddy out. Caution here.
So this is a little bit awkward, but given how T1 is positioned straight up, they
하지만
are
오빠?
looking for that
와우.
retakes play. Doesn't
스팸?
even matter. Saya,
아 그레네이드 미스
the same
났다.
angle, and it has been punished before. Zeta doesn't look very comfortable on this map.
뭐야, 저?
Rolling Thunder committed though.
Deb, he's not even looking above him, man.
아 진짜 개빡치네. 뭐야 나이스야? 나이스. 무결점이네.
Numbers, so clean win for T1 on this round. And even after the timeout from Zeta, I mean, you can really see that, like,
봤는데 나이스.
maybe they're not too
일단
experienced, or not too
나이스.
comfortable on this map because some of these angles that they just walk into, they're not like very uncommon ones. And it just shows that, you know, T1 really knows what they're doing.
뭐야?
They've practiced this before, they've got a little bit more
아니
experience
묘수
on this.
뭐임? 묘수?
And yeah, Saya player doing Lord's work. Izu Carpe coming in back out for those trades towards the end of the round. Very clean stuff. Zeta really needs more because, you know, the A hit, you know, we tried that, it's been done. The Prowler can only do so much. Trip up those trap wires, maybe go up against Excurate once more.
맞았다.
Okay, two for the
뭐야.
price of one boom bot.
또 분보
It's a
때문에
big damage on
깨졌는데
Cypher.
그레네이드
Destroyed
빼줬다.
the tripwire on B main itself. That's some value, but you know what? You're absolutely right. It feels like Zeta Division, they're roughhousing a push.
B가 이제
on attack.
혼자고
It feels
A가
like there's no
앞방에서
finesse
보고 있기
here.
때문에
And they're
여러분
kinda
A
hoping
힘쓰기
that
10도.
this shock and awe play is
오, 오,
gonna
오, 오, 오.
rattle T1, but
오 뒤까지 야무지게.
it's rallying them more than their opponents are, to be honest.
Yeah,
maybe
a little bit
도노속도
safer on the
1대1
approach this time. I like the spy cam, but Saya player peeking out into B main just calls it all clear. He knows the hit's coming towards B,
Oh,
but
hey.
Deb's got
Deb.
the aggression.
야, 야.
Izu does get the trade very quickly. TP across from Sugar Zero here, but he's alone for the moment. They don't realize that he's gone for the shot at step. Izu's by himself. Although he's pocketed into the corner here, gives himself some leeway, some breathing room,
Oh.
some playing space.
Last player
공부이원?
standing.
And it's a rough
공 있는?
house again
서로 공 있는?
of the two teams.
Oh.
Sugar Zero, hard to go for this TP out.
Wow.
Saya player, he's so close. Gonna get back into
와우, 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 와우,
safety.
와우.
To boost him quickly
아, 근데 왜
into
이렇게
market
느려?
to reposition, hit the shot, and
아,
Saya
스포당했어
player,
방금.
he's celebrating. He's got like 40 seconds to wait around.
Ah.
Yeah. Do it again. I didn't see it. Do it again. Yeah, there you go.
Oh
Again,
my
again,
god.
Making Asarai happy.
Yeah.
Dude, 7-3 scoreline. It all happens because of his blast pack movement. That is skill, clear as day. And of course, Depp tried to pull off similar hijinks towards that A site, but then as soon as it starts to fall apart, you know, it's very clear how
이번 라인 깨면은 이제 2점짜리 라운드이기 때문에 사실상 9대1 사람도 가능하거든요 지금. 아, 물론 정확히 2점짜리 라운드라고 말하기는 좀 애매하긴 한데 상대 그래도 반갑에 벤다 이게 자금을 이제 어떻게든 싹싹 긁어가지고 쓰는 라운드거든요. 이번 라운드에 살 플레이어 공 쓰면서 이제 살짝
Sure thing.
아니 여기서 탭까지 잡아버리면 9대3을 갈 수밖에 없잖아. 9대3을 갈 수밖에 없잖아요.
Something good.
but it doesn't though. I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
Side player shuts him down. Carpe picks up one as well. 3 players left in this round, round 11.
Crimea River on this one, man. They
Oh,
line
나이스.
up. That's big
좋아요.
damage to
피
Neuron,
1냈기
even if he
때문에
survives, right? He's
오,
like
브리치 무빙 좋고
4 HP.
오,
What? Did side player just hit him through a flash?
렛츠고
Yeah,
9
here on.
포인트.
From here on out, he's by himself. He's got a Nightfall. He's got the whole kit available as that Fade, so he's not gonna lack anything in terms of scouting, right?
There.
But the problem is, it's a 3 versus 1.
Yeah, you've got some utility, but as a Fade, it's just not really that useful. You might be able to throw out a Haunt or a Seize.
He has Nightfall.
Prowler too. Yeah, I don't know if Nightfall in a 1-on-3, right?
왜?
Goodbye.
Well, that is a great start.
에?
That's even better.
He can throw it inside the smoke. He can throw it inside the smoke.
Eh?
He even sees
Yeah.
Sire player. Just throw everything, man. Just do it right
Prowler
now.
blind him.
He's not even defusing. Come on. You already know what's happening.
And because Saya can't
Boosh.
hear it,
What?
yeah,
Wow.
Why?
that was a slight
Last round in the half.
misplay with T1's protocols.
이게 히로롱?
Going up for the, maybe a little bit of overconfidence, right? Going straight up for the
이게
defuse,
히로롱?
and then Hiroran being able to pick up the kill like that, trying to peek into it again. Just well played.
Yeah.
7-4 now.
It's the wall, the smoke separated.
아니 이거 전설펠 아니야 이거
Very
히로롱?
clearly here, and you mentioned it. You know, Euron took pretty much big advantage of that. One more round.
사실 제가 일본 갔을 때 히로롱 씨 봤어요.
No,
그때는 이제 플레이어 이름을 몰랐는데 저 사람이 히로롱이었구나.
Zeta Division, you know what?
네,
They have turned
같이
into a team
인사했어요.
full
제타
on contact.
들어가 있을 때
I'm
제타
all for
선수라고
it.
이렇게
It is
소개해줬는데
messy. It turns into a 3 versus 2, but it is fun as hell to watch. Hiroran's not going to be expecting this big flag coming in from Carpe. And Sugar Zero, no TPs to get out of this one. It's you on an island, 3 versus 1. Can you handle the pressure? Shock darts, pop shots, swing outs, everything thrown onto Sugar Zero, and man just
그래도
can't handle.
8대4 그래도 8대4
Nobody really can.
Switching sides.
Just buying the attention from Boba and then 2 teammates swinging from behind. You hear those footsteps. Does not feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, as we move over into the next, like you mentioned, that contact plays, it's actually not a bad idea. I feel like Depp should have or would have been able to at least capitalize on the kill onto, was it Excurate? But then, you know, it's just because it's a Guardian, because you're landing off of jumping and accuracy, somehow doesn't quite connect. And then Rossi holding from market as well. It's just T1 having all the pieces in place to prevent, or at least to deny, such a spike plant from a site capture from happening. So very well played defense from T1's side. We move over into the next half. And again, it's just that double controller that gives them so much more to work with.
There is no safe space here for Zeta Division. Everything.
I've seen that before from Zeta fans.
Shaking. Which one?
When they're like praying that Zeta would win.
Really? That's a thing?
Well, I mean, last year when they really wanted to go to Masters Tokyo.
Dang. I mean, I'm all for that, though. Everybody's hyped up for T1
이거
here.
지면 다 패자조
I
가는
mean,
거구나.
who wouldn't be, right? They look so convincing on all of their games here, to be honest. Everything's been pretty cutthroat between the two. And again, whoever wins this series, comparing it to the series before this, it's the flip. You get into a qualified spot already. That is absolutely huge. I think it was Achilles that mentioned that, you know, the more chances for you to get higher, the more you just sit back, watch the VODs, practice, and not go through the gauntlet of the lower bracket.
That's the bigger part. You know, you just chill out. You get to study VODs.
1라운드 전략인 것 같은데요?
I love studying VODs.
Dep right now
하지만
going on the offensive. Zeta
라즈
wanting to pick up this pistol.
Laz dragging Carpe's
그래도
HP to
이제
the floor
재욱이
down
오빠의
to 10.
피가 많이 없기 때문에
Dead Division's had enough, man. They've seen too much aggression from T1. They want to dish it back out themselves. They do spread themselves a little bit thin here, even though it's a 3 versus 4 with the numbers favoring Zeta Division. They have to get some control of the sites back as well as mid, and that is no easy feat when you've lost Laz already. But because of this, T1, they've already pushed themselves up onto top mid. This could separate the positions. This could isolate Huron, and he might not be prepared for the lurk that is about to come.
Carpe down low as well too, though.
하지만 여기서 전설 펠?
Now they spotted him. This should be easily dismantleable by Zeta Division.
If they don't overplay their cards, they should be able to, as you mentioned. But T1's so
전설
tricky.
펠
You never
피킹
know what's
하신다.
gonna happen.
전설 펠이다
So
이거.
I'm just heal all
이게
for it.
전설
What
펠이야
flash here from
히로롱.
YamZzi. Thanks for the help, Sugar. Zero. I gotta complete the name. It sounds weird just calling him Sugar.
Good pistol round by Zeta Division nonetheless. I mean, the way that they're deciding to really do something that that's maybe slightly off the book, something that T1 won't expect. And it gives them, you know, that extension in the second half, picking up the pistol. It starts off with Dep, and, you know, as always, we kind of expect and require that from him.
And I mean, dude's doing a lot, right? He's been put on a position, on a task
와 근데
where
씨발 스턴.
there may be no point of return. Dep, shoot, go kill, double satchel,
오히려
may
좋아
or might not be there
바이퍼여가지고.
with you to help you out. So, he's been pretty cool and calm under that kind of pressure, man.
Yeah, Les was there to help him on the previous round. Now as we go on to the next one, getting more information as to how T1 is approaching. Dep is back in.
Down A.
T1's no choice but to push forward.
Oh yeah. But the smoke's the only thing stopping them from dying through the smokes, and looks like it could be a clean round here for Zeta Division. 2 swift ones.
무결점은
And
조금.
somehow it looks a lot more manageable.
Got this.
Keeps them in the game. They carry
아니
all
근데
these
여러분들
weapons
왜
forward.
그거 안 쓰는 거야? 아울로.
I think it's been a while since we actually saw a flawless, you know,
아울로 쓰는 팀이 그렇게
Second
많이
round.
없나?
and with that, you
Yeah.
know, they might actually be able to pick up on a bonus depending on how they play it. I mean, this one, you know, it's kind of simple, just allowing for T1 to walk into them. But off to the next.
아니 그니까 아니
definitely has
이게
some
팀들이 아울로 쓰는 팀들은 아울로
Sure
존나 쓰고 아울로 안
Everything's been
쓰는
running
팀들은
rampant
아울로를 아예
here.
안 써.
Dep trying to get him.
Oh yeah, that's a big catch too. He wanted to get that that aggressive control on mid, but just fumbles in front of him. X-Crit slowly creeping up onto B main here, calling in the rest of his team. trying to use that camera to coax some kind of peek here from Laz, and it works favorably for them. Sugar Zero does get the trade.
오
He
묘수
repositions around the corner.
모른다
They know
모른다
about
모른다
this.
흘린다
Full
흘린다
control.
와우
Sugar Zero, what a mad lad actually making that happen here on. Now coming in for the big flanks, only has a Guardian in hand.
Spike planted.
아니 진짜
Slowly
국밥이다
creeping up.
국밥 이 사람
Rossi
국밥이야 하지만 전설패?
Carpe could be exposed,
전설패?
gives away his position. He knows he's coming in for a market here, sees the reposition right now,
아, 못
and could even
찍었어요.
start to defuse that.
나이스!
Quick and decisive is what T1 needs, and that is what Carpe delivers.
Just enough of a tag that Hiroran cannot have enough movement to hide behind the pillar. Still though, really close round for Zeta. I mean, you gotta admire the heroics from Sugar Zero. That was a masterful play. Being able to toss out the paranoia just as soon as he feels that contact. Shrouded steps over to the other side. They did not expect it, but then again, such plays coming out from T1, knowing how to play around this B main push. The trades coming through, just bringing those numbers back in.
Kind of sucks for Hiroran there that, again, he thought that he could one up against Carpe and defuse the spike from that angle, but no, it ain't gonna happen. Carpe's too sharp for those. Speaking of which, he's still away from the Hunter's Fury. Like you mentioned, Zeta Division play themselves a key hand on that bonus round, but did he spot Saya get through this? They're not even checking it out. What a catch right now for Saya player! No! The timing! Can he still win through it? He will not be able to do so.
근데
Hiroran finds Carpe.
잡아줬어요 사이트에
Somewhere on
있던
mid, drops the spike down.
레이즈 탭을
That's trade for
잡아줬거든요
two.
케빈이
Depp is gone. Carpe and Saya down.
스모크
T1
받으면서
side.
공 싹 던질 기회
Starting
만들어주고
off
포지션
with
싹 본 다음에
Crazy
A
minuscule
갈까
timings.
B 갈까 일단 B
Now it's
비어가지고
gonna be
B를
real
가는 것
theft, though.
같습니다. 이 간 때까지
T1 has
리스크가
an
조금 있기
idea as to
때문에
how Zeta are positioned. The main thing is still they might be able to get the
브릿지
spike down.
스톰
They have to play
언제 썼지?
positions well enough to work out against
볼
Zeta's
것
numbers.
같은데 보니까
I think that's why Extra was
스톰
thinking about going
돌았고.
through market, but it's a
그럼
little bit risky 'cause
밀어야겠지.
you never know what's lurking around
나
mid.
준비됐어
30
Wow.
seconds left.
나
Wow,
준비됐어
actually extending all the way through.
오 마이
So-
갓 케빈
How?
Euron!
오 마이
He thought
갓
his position was
에이스
sneaky.
에이스
Maybe
케빈
get that refrag. Absolutely.
아하 개
No ways
아까워
for Excurate here though. But damage be done. And everybody on Zeta be damned. As T1 is just swimming in it. There could be the half here for Laz.
각자는 심리전 같은 거
Gives
안
him a little
한다?
bit more time to play around things with. Even tries to go for the straight defuse. But I mean, Rossi's not gonna let that happen. He's got Izu with him. They got the numbers. And they got the advantage here and now. Double digits.
Going for the stick was a little bit odd. But, you know, apart from that, I just Excurate.
오 마이 갓
Not opting,
Today,
not cheap
Kevin
for
is
this
so
time, but just
크레이지
able
이
to
스무스
find these trades, able to walk up front. And off of the
enemy
spike
remaining.
plant, right? We were kind of wondering, is he going to go through market? Is he going to go through Boba? He actually plays with the off timing and then pushes deeper into Boba along with his teammate. So sharp, getting all of those frags, gets ahead of Zeta Division right before they even start the retake. So 10-6 now, Zeta calling in the timeout, their last one in the legs.
And these nooks and crannies on the Zeta defense, it just gets pressed, prodded, and poked by T1 over and over again. And it's not stable here, Quack. It's not 100% perfect. You're absolutely right, right? The off timings, you know, given to you, presented by Saya player and Excurate. It's putting Laz and the rest of Zeta in such dire straits.
Very tough for them to, you know, get a good read, good idea. I mean, Saya player was even able to walk all the way up mid courtyard to top, and like, if not for the lucky slight timings that you run to just turn around,
Yeah.
Scanning ahead.
it's like these tiny things. Okay. Doesn't really see all too much.
It's a slight whiff on the recon dart. Fair enough. camera from Laz just to check up on mid. No tiles, no lower mid here. It's a weaker buy for Zeta Division. So they want to at least
Take flight.
not lose anybody before the push happens, as they want to, again, you know, strengthen the numbers, all that good stuff.
There.
T1's well aware of this though, so again, they're just trying to compress their forces too.
오!
Get the better
히로롱?
things here on. Only really good for one on that Sheriff. Spots out the
아니 히로롱 이 자식 봐라.
spike already. As Laz walks himself up onto A main. Or A link at least.
Yeah, Zeta's efforts starting to dwindle down now. Carpe even
와
catching
근데
him on the
셰리프
cross.
개 아픈데?
Spike
제타?
should go down pretty soon as they
안에서
find
라즈가
Laz.
잘 버티고 있는데 오
Oh, he was
그린네이드를
looking at
보고
the nade right
있는
above him. Maybe see if he's exposed? I don't know. Dep,
Last player standing.
yeah. That's not gonna turn too well for him. Euron took a while to take down Izu, so he couldn't really transfer out the Saya player in time. T1,
Do you want to dance?
these rounds are looking a little bit slower, but a lot surer. And two more, and they qualify, Quack.
Good little shot from Yuran though, onto the Y-axis. But that's it. I mean, this round now, you're absolutely right. It's a little bit pivotal for both teams. Got some ultimates to work with. Definitely still a bit of an uphill climb for Zeta Division. And T1 just really in the driver's seat. You know, there's so much that they can do
이번
right
라운드
now.
솔직히 궁 다 투자하면서 라운드 딸만하다. 매치 포인트 가보자 진짜.
Some of these lurks too.
궁 다 투자하면서 라운드
Zeta
딸만해요.
might be
매치
thinking about
포인트.
playing something like a retakes game, but I don't know how effective that can really be. You might be able to allow some of these players to burn out their
너
ultimates,
지금
but
페이드
that's the most you
너
can get.
전설 페이드 거기 있을 거야?
Oh no, Euron.
아이고.
Yeah, I mean,
안돼 나
he was very
강등.
afraid of that showstopper just being blasted.
강등할게요.
So tries to get that value with the peek out, but ultimately it's a lose-lose situation.
얘 전설 페 아니다.
Now they know he's somewhere on top A here.
야 필드
I
드랍
believe that is a fresh smoke, so
필드 드랍 페리다
they
지금.
have to wait for a good chunk of time
저게 지금
or
필드
be able to
드랍
push
페리지.
through it. Yeah, there it is. But
Wait.
there's a lot of crossfires. Dep does get some damage, but again, with this elevated positioning from Izu, that is very difficult to try to go up against. And Saya
오
player
좋아요.
shuts it down. Is Zeta
이거예요.
only good for 6? Is T1 gonna get this?
와 진짜
They're
손바닥도
very
살아
close to
있어.
making it happen here. Very,
Yeah.
very close.
Match and series point, one more, and they will make it to playoffs. And with that comes a bit of a break. More training, more VODs to study. Meanwhile, Zeta
어떻게 하셨지? 지금 살짝 눈이 살짝
are really
감기랑.
just exhausting all their options on this sunset map. Not really knowing
아니,
what to
지금
do.
눈에 뭐 들어가고
Just kind of throwing
이래가지고.
bodies into it. The
맞아요.
ultimates felt, and then Euron kind of exposed, Hiroran exposed. Then just running through the smoke, not really working out too great. I mean, Rossi even having the sense to spray through it. Now T1 tapping brakes.
아 왔다가
Fury used very early
아니
here.
이걸 살았어?
Huron again in the same spot that he was. If he gets spotted here, that could be just a straight up nade. And he can't go for the cross. Dude is holding elbow for the second time in the same spot. Sure, there's no showstopper to get them gutted, but it's the same thing. Dep's
와
gonna be able
뭐야
to
아니
get
제니
extra
장식
goal.
개잘
Can
빼.
he press the
아니네
advantage?
케빈 죽었네.
He's playing the safer game and just backing away. He's already gotten that contact. It's all good for him.
Interesting.
And a quick TP on spawn just to check
아
if there's
그냥
any
공짜로
big
뺏은 줄
or
알고
long
살짝.
flankers. With 40 seconds on the clock, that's going to be very pivotal because at least that gives T1 more options to maybe go back, or at least, you know, more options to make them confident in pushing up into A main and not being afraid
아니야.
of their behinds.
필드 드랍 펠이야 이제.
noise.
필드 드랍으로 바뀌었어 저거.
Well, there
30
is
seconds.
that
패치했어,
lurk, that's a
패치.
flank from depth, though.
Ooh, that's a stun.
Right there.
Sees the cross coming into A link.
와우 뎁.
Here's Dep with the flank already. Press still happens. Euron falls.
아 이거는
One more
힘들죠.
alive. That's gonna be
이거는
Saya
사야
for 10
플레이어도
seconds.
힘들어요 이
Shouldn't be a win
게임은.
here. Can make it expensive though,
Headshot.
which he does as he
Well,
finds Laz. Zeta Division somehow manages to live the fight for another round.
야, 노타임. 이거는 사역
It's very
플레이어도
well played
못하는
with how much
거거든요.
depth is controlling. Although T1 tries at a different strat, just trying to cut noise and then explode onto sight. It really was that flank from Depp, and not to mention some of the players on site to really find that some of these trades, soften up the blows, keep T1, feeling a bit of pressure. Zeta's not out of this game yet.
야, 코가 왜 이렇게 간지러워?
That said, though, got Rossi on the Viper's Pit available now. Hiroran might have the Nightfall to counter that, but still a lot of options. Oh, no, okay, well, not that,
뭐야?
though.
아, 너무
That's
신나셨는데?
Dude just straight up walked into stairs. Not sure what that was about.
My camera is.
Anyways, step in the right direction at least here. Spots a couple of shock darts. Laz swings out. Does have a teammate right beside him, but is this going to be a quick little chase here from T1?
Oh, interesting.
Laz is in a really bad spot.
와, 이거야! 아니, 재영이 오빠 해주는구나 믿고
The
있었잖아.
blink of an eye, down, down, and down. Nightfall activated here. They got to try to make something happen, right? Because of the Viper's Pit. From Rossi looking a little bit too dangerous. The hot comes in. The pistol. 1 versus 1. Rossi
1v1?
still hidden inside his own ultimate.
와, 지지!
Zeta Division.
All the way in through to the playoff stage. Down to the end of it. I mean, we had a rocky start on Ascent. Zeta looked darn near good. But then as we move on to Lotus, X-Curate, Saya player, Rossi having a good day. Down into the last map, they
이게
showed that they have so many options, so many
가루페야.
game plans, and at the same time, just still fragging out of their minds.
이게
Saya player, and now
카르페라고.
finally Carpe actually pop it off. He got some of those kills through smokes into elbow.
I'm taken aback, man. I have lost all of my voice from that one play that he just did. What an insane
하지만
last round for
히로롱은
T1.
정말 강력한
It looked like it was
패리였다.
a good hold, to be honest. I mean, they
그리고
got
슈가제로는
fired
항상
step in the right
국밥이다.
direction. Laz was holding, step in the right direction, and then you mentioned it, we saw it. Carpe just blasting through obstacles, opening opportunities up here for T1. Man is possessed. Everybody from T1 has been possessed by the gods of FPS. And these guys, what a restructure. Again, first qualified team, I believe, coming in to kick off.
Yeah, they're the very first ones to make it through. Although at the same time, we can study quite a bit from
지지.
their
아, 근데
sunset,
여러분들
can
저
study quite a
소리를
bit
너무
from their
질렀더니
Lotus.
목이 아파요.
At the very same time, because they've made it through, they now get to sit upon that winner's seat, that
목이
podium.
아파요.
And then to take a little break and study more for the next coming days. You know what? It's an incredible day. It's an incredible game. Let's hear it from T1 with the interview on Kyungmin on the stage.
아이, 그건 맞는데.
BCT Pacific kickoff. Today's last win goes to T1. Shout out for T1, everyone.
MVP!
Yes, congratulations T1. 네, BCT Pacific 킥오프 이제 오늘의 마지막 승리를 T1이 가져갑니다. 지금 인터뷰 저희 함께 엑스큐레이트 인터뷰 들어보시죠. 엑스큐레이트, congratulations for today's win.
Thank you so much.
I mean, 3 maps. It was really breathtaking moves. All fans shouting for you. So how do you feel about today's win?
I think today's win feels very important for us because this is our because I'm also a first time playing competitive Valorant, and then with my new team, with the new roster, we managed to go to the Pacific playoff. So it's really a good
키높이
motivation for us
신발?
to going for the next round.
Yeah, sure is. 이번 경기가 정말 중요했다고 답을 했는데요. 특히나 이제 플레이오프로 바로 넘어가고 이번 이제 2승으로 인해서 모든 팀한테 동기부여가 됐기 때문에 정말 중요하게 이겨서 정말 기쁘다는 말을 전했습니다. 다음 질문을 이어서 해보겠습니다. 이제 맵 2에서 완전 분위기를 전환시키면서 맵 3에서도 아주 멋진 무브들을 많이 보여줬는데 맵 2 이후에 팀원들과 어떤 이야기를 나눴는지 물어보겠습니다. I mean, you completely turned around starting from map 2, dominant moves on map 3. So I'm curious, like, what did your teammates talk about after map 2, winning map 2?
Honestly, for first match, we have a good comeback before, but it's about a bad call and a bit hesitation. That's why we kind of like give up that map. And then for map 2 and map 3, we just play our best and then just do it what we practicing and then we do it in the match. And then also Lotus is our strongest map, and also Sunset. Yeah, I think we just do it like what we do it in practice. And also I think Zeta playing really good. So yeah, it was a really good match.
I mean, I heard your team screaming after map 2, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's like I don't know. They just like do that maybe to boost their motivation, but yeah, just like.
Okay. 네, 맵 1에서는 조금 이렇게 어려운 측면이 있었지만 맵 2에서는 이걸 완전히 극복이 가능했는데 아마도 연습한 게 맵 2에서 기량이 많이 드러났고 또 긴장도 많이 풀려서 그런 거 아닐까 저도 개인적으로 생각이 드는데요. 근데 또 맵 1에서 제타가 또 잘해줬기 때문에 맵 2에서는 그 집중된 전략을 많이 보일 수 있었다고, 그리고 또 팀원들과 함께 막 소리 지르면서 기뻐했는데 이 소리를 지르면서 분위기도 전환시키고 더 맵 3에서 더 잘할 수 있었던 것 같습니다. For the last question, you know, Coach Autumn like totally believed for today's win for T1. So how happy would he be? 또 코치 안참이 오늘 T1의 승리를 100% 예감했거든요. 이거에 대해서 얼마나 행복해하실지 물어보겠습니다.
Yeah, I think I don't know how to say this, but yeah, just that this win I think is really meaningful for every one of us, and also I promise to my coach that we're gonna win this specific kickoff.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay. 팀 우리 코치뿐만 아니라 팀 전체에게 굉장히 의미 있는 순간이고 제가 꼭 이기겠다는 약속을 전했기 때문에 오늘 정말 의미 있는 경기였다고 말을 이어갔습니다. So thank you for the interview. Now you know what you have to do, right?
I don't know.
You have to sign a signature
okay.
and all, and give to the fans. Yes, it's a cute little penguin, full of luck. So anywhere you wanna throw, you have to go in front of the fans. Yeah, you just go in front of the fans and then toss it to them. Who's gonna get the lucky penguin? The winning for T1! Yay! Someone caught it. Okay. Thank you so much. Best of luck for T1. Yeah, this was the interview for T1's win, and now I toss it back to the desk. See you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, gotta love hearing those fans cheer for T1, and how could they not, especially for X-Ray.
아, 이제 졸리다. 저도 이제 가보겠습니다. Bye bye. Good night, guys. Bye bye. 사요나라. 보겠습니다. Good night, guys. Bye.